Thomas Isaac, the Finance Minister of Kerala, joins in right now to speak about his thoughts on the council meet and the decisions thereof. Well, maybe 2 or 3 were expected, Mr. Isaac, to be taken. I think the one crucial decision, and not unexpected, was this nod for the rollout of the e-way bill system. And I think the intra-state e-way bill system to be implemented in a phased manner. Now, you've not been a proponent of this. What's your reaction to the decision that has been taken?
We are very keen that e-way bill system be introduced at the earliest, because without the e-way bill, there is possibility and reality also, very large-scale leakage of interstate trade from the tax net. And this is one of the most important reasons why the revenue has not been very buoyant. And therefore, as a consumption state, Kerala has been very keen that e-way will be implemented. But unfortunately, despite the national consensus in the GST Council, the IT backbone has not been strong enough to shoulder this responsibility. It was a great surprise when we learned the first rollout failed because of lack of capacity, server capacity, more than the software problems. And now these are very serious lacunae. Now I think they all have been rectified. But as an added precaution, even the interstate e-way bill is going to be introduced in a staggered manner, not on April 1st all over India. Even here, the states are divided into 4, and a number of 6 states, including Kerala, have been included in the first phase where from April 1st it will be implemented. So that by April middle, all over India, not April middle, but kind of May beginning, all over India, e-way bill, interstate e-way bill will be enforced. This is added precaution because we past experience. Yeah.
Right, Mr. Isaac, and which was my question. I mean, are you a lot more sanguine now about this implementation? Because when we spoke to you last week of February, I think I'd quote you mentioned that it's a mess out there. Do you believe that we are over that mess?
Yeah, I think so. It has got to be. It's nothing insurmountable problem. You see, India is an IT advanced nation. We should be able to tackle. I don't know. I cannot pinpoint why it has the IT backbone has failed so miserably. But I think the meeting, the responses gave me confidence that we are going to ride it this time.
Interesting. A few decisions, of course, which were not taken, the simplified returns, ENA on alcohol, etc. You think it's a matter of time, right? I mean, it should be done in the next meeting or thereabouts.
Yes, in the returns, there is certain fundamental issues. Because we are going to change from the return system that has been designed ever since, say, for the last 2 years. We have been debating about it. So that notion is going to be changed. Fundamentally, there are 2 opposing views. One is like Nandan Nilekani, where on least state interference. The e-way bill, I mean, the returns match would be an affair between the buyer and seller. They will have to settle it before they can claim the IT credit. No, other extreme would be a model in which government will intervene to examine the returns and identify the mismatch. Now the computer may do it themselves, but with the help of audit teams and so on. Now both have their merits and demerits, but I think ultimately we are going to have something, a mixture of the 2. And that's what was proposed to the GST Council. But everybody is wary of rushing into a decision without fully analyzing, because the presentation was made only in the Council. There was no written material on which we could take an informed decision. And that's the reason why it has been postponed. There will be a group of ministers, again, I think Sushil Modi group, and any minister or state government can volunteer to serve we have to go threadbare into the proposals and take a final decision.
Okay. Mr. Isaac, really appreciate you taking this time out early in the morning and talking to us at Bloomberg, Quint.